statistics show that based on a Fox News report published in 2011 by John Roberts, serial killings account for less than 1% of all the killings in the United States within a year. And yet, why is it that even with a low number of serial killings, that they tend to attract the most attention? Is it because they fascinate us, but at the same time terrify us? Your neighbor, your teacher, your coworker, or even your friend, any of them can be a serial killer and you wouldn't even know it. Many of the people I know, and possibly you know, are misinformed about serial killers. And we're misinformed in the way where we casually throw the term serial killer around in the category of killers, when in reality, there's a broad aspect to it. You know, there are diseases, there are mass murderers that can kill you. It's not just serial killers. The correct definition provided by FBI.gov website, which was last updated in 2010, states that the term serial killing means a series of 3 or more killings, having a common characteristic which suggests that the crimes were committed by one actor or actors, plural. The topic of serial killers is something that we all know little to nothing about. So my job this afternoon is to enlighten you all on the subject of serial killers, which include how they kill, who they can be, and by also providing some examples. According to the book known as the Crime Classification Manual, which was published in 1992 by 4 FBI agents, which was later revised again in 2006, the FBI agents placed serial killers into 3 different categories, which I'm going to talk about today. And those 3 include organized killers, disorganized killers, and mixed killers. So with the help of a book called Serial Killers, The Method and Madness of Monsters, written by Peter Bronsky in 2004, I will go ahead and talk about the first type of serial killer, which is organized killers. So how do they kill and who are they? Well, you see, organized killers are very complicated in the way that they plan their murder. You know, it can take weeks or months, up to even years, for them to actually have that plan of action take place. And they're complicated in a way where a total of 3 separate crime scenes are needed to be investigated. This includes where the victim was confronted, where the victim was killed, and where the victim was disposed of, or their body was disposed of. Organized killers are typically the type to gain the trust of the people around them. And it's usually through their unsuspecting lifestyle that makes people think, oh, well, they can't be a killer. The example that I have of a organized killer is Ted Bundy. How many of you guys have heard of him? Anyone? Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Now tell me, does he look like a serial killer that murdered 30 women to you guys? No. No. Or does he look like your shy and decent uncle-in-law who has that bit of an awkward side to him? Yeah? Well, that number, by the way, was given in an article by the Associated Press on Fox News' website in 2011. But back to Ted Bundy. He is the perfect example of an organized killer because he has that unsuspicious look to him. I mean, just look at him. He even had a wife to help him with his overall depiction of being a normal man living an unsuspecting life. Moving on to the next one, which is disorganized killers. In fact, disorganized killers differ from the previous one because their act of killing is more spontaneous, having the victim attacked by an object that's within reach. For example, a sharp rock or a really sturdy branch that can be used to stab somebody. Often these offenders are isolated from people in a way where they are socially inept. These killers also make it hard because they make no effort in destroying the evidence or putting up a disguise, but they're really good at it. The example that I have is Miguel Rivera. Unfortunately, there were no photos that I could find about him, but this is what you're going to have to work He was nicknamed Charlie Chop-Off, who was known for kidnapping boys, killing them, and cutting off their very important down yonder sense the name. The reason why he fits into this category well is because, as this quotes, he has this hidden logic and erratic behavior of a disorganized serial killer. And it made it very difficult for police to narrow down a suspect because he made no effort to cover his crime. Moving on to the last one. So the third one that I'm going to talk about are mixed category killers. These are the types of killers that don't necessarily have a solid plan or execution. Their attacks are usually organized in a way where they can be interrupted by a passerby or witness, and that usually just foils their plan. And unlike the other two mentioned before, this is a type of category where there's a possibility of two or more killers that can be working together. And the example that I have is Richard Ramirez. Please tell me his hair is gorgeous. His hair is gorgeous. Okay. Going into his criminal record, with the usage of statements made on one of the feature series on the Biography channel back in 2010, he was known for his sprees of murders, rapes, and robberies while gouging one of his victims' eyes out and having the other scream, "I love Satan." Now, as you can probably assume, his killings are a bit messy. And the reason why I chose him specifically as a good example for this is the way that he kills, and because of his mentally disabled state of mind due to his abuse of cocaine. So summing up all the points that I have talked about we can see that the classification of serial killers can actually be narrowed down into 3 different categories. And from the beginning of when I talked to the organized killers, all the way down to the mixed category killers, I hope that you all enjoyed learning about how these different types of killers work and whatnot. So thank you for listening.